Hey, welcome to another episode with Life in Cursive. I'm Tameshia.
And I'm Lancer.
Yes, so this is video number 2, and this is actually going to be take number 2 for this video because we actually recorded the video on yesterday, but as luck have it, I think we can probably give that to Mercury retrograde. I don't know, but
and you have puppies wrestling.
Yeah, so prim and proper over here. For those of you who do not know, we have 2 Great Pyrenees puppies. They're almost 9 weeks. Are they 9 weeks today?
They're like 10 weeks, right?
They were 8 weeks. 9 weeks today.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 9 weeks today. So
9 weeks, yeah.
that they're over here playing, so you may hear some noise, and then plus we have the chickens in the back too. So, but we are here to talk about, as you see on the video or on the title of the video, knowing who you are, right? And walking in who you are. As you know, going through the process of doing anything new, such as starting a homestead, building a home from a shed or, from a container home or anything else, starting a new business, anything new, it's going to take you knowing exactly who you are, and it's going to take you walking in it. And we'll get to, more of what that means, a little later. But we do want to start off by sharing a story. And these type of stories happen to us often, but yesterday was one of the most powerful ones that, that have happened, recently. And something that we can share, that's pretty recent. Mm-hmm. So we are going through the process of getting a shed, so like one of those utility sheds. We're going through the process of having one of those built, and then we're going to convert it into a home where we're going to live. We live in a county where you have to go by code, right? You have to go by the international codes and then the county codes. And what we didn't realize when we first started this process was that, even though you have your own land, and we have a little bit over 3 acres or 3.5 acres of land in the county, so we're not in the city, there's still a lot of codes that you must follow. And we didn't know that. Right. When we went and starting this process in April, we went to, we found the builder that we wanted to use. We sat down with him. We did design it, and we did tell him that we're going to be living in it. But even him, he didn't really kind of like lead us to think that we need to have it built to code to live in. He was pretty much just kind of going by what we said, and that's what they're going to build. Mm-hmm. So, as you stated on the other video, and I love that. Like, we jumped the gun. We really
quick.
Yeah, the research and stuff that we did was on like YouTube and different blogs and stuff, but those people had to have been in like counties and states that they can live like really off the grid, and they can
they knew the law, so they could break it. They had more information,
right? So that's one thing that we're going to point out. Because, again, with all of our research, converting a shed to home, there wasn't a lot of people out there talking about how important it was to make sure you go to your county and make sure you get the codes, and to make sure you have your builder build them to that code. So that's going to be like, there's a few things that you're going to be able to take from this video, but that's one.
Because technically we're not off grid. We have a homestead, so we're not off grid. But we was acting like we were totally off grid. Right. Like we were just like, we're going to do what we want to do. Yeah,
we're just going to get the shed put out here. We're going to get the foundation poured, the shed brought out, and then we're going to just do a lot of this stuff ourselves, and we're going to just do this and do that. But that's not how we can do it here in our county.
Ignorant.
Yeah. So when we were going through the process of getting the land clear, there were a few people that were, telling us like, hey, well, make sure, this, we love what you're doing, but make sure that, this meets code, and the walls, to make ssure that the studs are put 16 on center. We hadn't really heard about that. To make sure that the floor joist was 2x8 at least, 2x10 is better, 2x12 is even better. We had no clue. to make sure that the building was wrapped. What is that? Like, we didn't know. So all these different things that people were telling us, and we were like, wow, okay, well, we need to, one, go to talk to the county code office guy here, and then two, reach out to the builder to see if any of this was done. So we did both. Earlier this week, we went and talked to the code enforcer. He was very nice, very generous with the information, told us everything that we needed to know. We took a lot of notes. And then right after that meeting, we called the guys who are building the building, and they were like, oh, well, if we would have known, this before, we could have definitely built it to code. We could have definitely built all this stuff.
But it's already built.
But the caveat was, yes, it was already built. And so after he told us it was already built, we was like, okay, you know what? And Lancer brought out a good point. He was like, look, it's a structure. So anything about that structure, a lot of things about that structure can be changed, so we would have to just invest more money to get it changed, but at least we have the structure, like the foundation to kind of start with. Okay, we got that. Again, when you get to know us, you'll know that we're going to keep moving regardless of what. Nothing's going to stop us, right? So, jumping forward to, when the guy told us that the building was already built, I texted him and I was like, hey, well, we're excited that the building is already built. We're waiting for a few dry days so that we can get the foundation laid. We can get the foundation laid. And, so can you just go ahead and send us some pictures so we can, really kind of see exactly if this is what we thought and, in our vision. Because it's a difference between when you're like drawing something out and telling somebody than when you actually see it. So that evening he sent the pictures, and it was okay. And when I showed them to Lancer, I saw the look on his face. It was
yeah, I accepted it, but I wasn't excited, like, because I knew exactly what she was about to say. I knew it wasn't exactly how
we envisioned and how we explained.
Yeah, how we explained it, how we designed it, because as you will see, we wanted the windows and stuff centered, and so the windows was more closer to the doors than we liked, and even the windows up top, they wasn't spaced out evenly the way
and I think they could have been larger. I mean, at the top, the windows should have been spaced out evenly, and then they could have been a bit larger. And that was just like
but it looked great still, like it still looks good.
Right.
It just wasn't it wasn't exactly how we designed it to be. But it still looked great. I will say that.
Right. It was funny. We posted it in 2 of the Shed to Home Facebook groups, and people are going crazy. Like, where did you get it? That's exactly how I want mine. This is a great idea. You could put 2 together and make it a double wide. That was like one comment. Yeah. So, so getting past that though, because Lancer and I both know that aesthetically we can get it changed. We have to come in and get somebody else to put new windows in, or add this and add that. That could be done. It just costs more money, but that can be done. So after the guy sent the text message with the pictures, he said, hey, can you give me a call? And it was late, that evening, so I just
This is the day before yesterday.
Yes, so Wednesday. Today's Friday, that was Wednesday. So on Wednesday evening, I texted him back and I said, okay, well, you know what, I'll call you in the morning. So yesterday morning came around, and I planned to call him, but prior to me calling him, he called like 3 times back to back, and I was on the phone with a client. And so then he texted me. He was like, hey, this is urgent, just give me a call when you can. And so after I got off the phone with the client, I called him back, and he said, hey, Tameshia, how are you? And I was like, I'm great, how are you? And so, he proceeded to say, well, yesterday when I went down on the lot to get the pictures, I noticed that there were a few things that we did wrong as a company. And there was one specific thing in which you guys did ask for, which was to have the walls built 16 on center. Well, the only reason we knew to ask for the walls to be 16 on center is because when we were sitting down with the dealer for this company, we were talking about the fact of how we were going to insulate it, and we knew that the insulation roll-up pads are 16 inches long, and so he said, okay, well, we need to make sure that the studs are 16 on center, so you can just roll up a pad and, you know, keep moving. So that's the only way we got that way, because other than that, we wouldn't have even known to put, you know, have it built 16 on center. So so he says, so the guy is on the phone with me, and he says, you know, that could be kind of, he said that could be fixed. He said, because we could just really go in and put in additional studs, but then you would just have a lot of studs. You have more studs than you really needed. But he already knew that there were a few things that we needed done structurally that would make it, that would make us, you know, be within code. That he gave us 2 options. He said, and he was like so excited when he told us this. He said, you have 2 options. One is to have us rebuild it. Now, when he said that, mind you, I was on speakerphone with him, or he was on speakerphone.
And I was in the bathroom.
Right.
But when I heard it, and I heard his excitement, I lit up and ran out the bathroom. And she was in the office. Now, our office building is like 1,500 square feet. Right. So I'm in the back, she's up front. And so we meet each other halfway down there, you know. And high fiving. Like we, you know, because fist pumping, high fiving. Exactly, because that saved us time, money. And thousands of dollars. Right. And trying to figure out how we're going to take something that's already built and like structurally add things to it to help it meet code. Like that was going to be just another thing within itself. So the first option was to rebuild it, which of course that's the option that we're going with. Or the second option was to have them again, like go in and, you know, add in the extra things to make it, you know, 16 on center and a few other things. But to say all of that is to say, when you know who you are, all you have to do is have the vision. All you have to do is have the willpower to just put your mind that you're going to do it, and then just go for it. Just walk. Because when you you know, and when we say, and I love how you brought out the fact that if God is your father, like talk about that. Like, yeah, if, you know, if we say God is our father. Yeah, people who believe in God or universe or whatever, if you believe in, you know, it's something higher than yourself, right? So, but let's just talk specifically to people who say God is the father, right? If God is the father, then you should have your father's DNA, period. So calling yourself such doesn't take away from your parents. It's like, it just says, hey, these are my parents and so forth. So when we say, and we don't walk around just saying we gods and so forth. But we're talking about the energy of the ability to be able to create your life and your world. To manifest things. And we do this every day, right? We walk in this energy daily. We try our best to, you know, we're human. But the thing is, we have the ability to create our own lives and so forth. Just like when it comes to even dealing with the code people or the people who give out the permits and so forth, you know, so many people have warned us about, oh, they're negative or they're this way or that way, but it hasn't been like that with us. We haven't experienced any of that. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't, and we won't. Right. We won't, because we already have made up in our minds that we have a mission. We have a vision and a mission. Right. And it's going to get accomplished, and you're going to help us. Exactly. and we go in like that. That's exactly how we go in. You know, and so everybody who's been helping us throughout this whole journey, the entire journey, have said God told them to do this, however, or we could feel the energy, or it's something different about you guys, and God told them to help us. Or even when we were in the office, the county office, you know, he mentioned God. I mean, again, you know, it's nothing. People can see the God in you, right? And you know, you should. That's why we don't have to walk around and say it, because it's in us. And we walk as such, and we talk as such.
you hold your head high. You
right.
go in there and you're
not looking to be offended.
Right, and that's the one thing.
We know what the outcome is going to be, so we walk as such.
Right.
We're joyous, we're happy, not just happy-go-lucky, just smiling, trying to be some type of tool or puppet, but we adjust accordingly.
And it's all about manifestation. And when you read those books, The Secret,
the Alchemist, different things, and so
the Law
forth,
of Attraction, and all of that, all of them have one common thing in mind, right? They all have the fact that it's about you raising your frequency, raising your emotions, your thoughts, your vibrating on the highest level, right? And that just means only giving energy to those positive things.
Right. There's a quote that says, I forget who's the author of this quote, but it said, wisdom is counseling the thoughts that weakens you, right? So, and when we talk about giving things positive energy, we're talking about not acting upon the negative thoughts,
right,
but acting upon the positive thoughts, since positivity is always a plus, right? That means it's a forward motion type of thing. So it moves you towards your goals, towards your vision, towards your dreams.
Towards where you're going.
Anything that keeps you at a standstill or takes you back or takes away is detrimental, is death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you think about something negative for too long, you start to act on those things negatively. For example, you start to frown. If you're walking towards me or anybody else frowning, most people are not going to welcome you with open arms.
No.
Especially if they're doing good and feeling good.
Exactly.
So if you're thinking of something too long and it's negative, then it starts to manifest physically.
Physically, visually, they're gonna see it. They're
gonna see it every way.
Feel it.
But if you cancel those thoughts and you say, you know what? No matter what, we're gonna get this house built, and it's gonna be what's best for us.
Right.
Then you see it, because you're thinking about it, and you feel it.
That's the thing too, seeing it. But when you can see it, then you feel it, and when you feel the power, and when you feel it, you have no choice. There's no choice but that manifestation, something that's great. Like for you to manifest something that's great, the universe has no choice but to provide that.
And with manifestation or just acting on these things, you build confidence. That mustard seed of faith turns into knowing. Like your belief turns into I now know.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? And so imagine if you know. Like if you know $1 million is over there, you're gonna run over there.
Right. Oh man.
You're gonna run to it.
And you have to use that. That's a good point. And you have to have that mentality and that mindset about anything you want. If you want $1 million, like he said, if they said somebody told you $1 million is right there, you know how fast you'll run to that.
Right.
The same thing you need to think about any goal that you set. When you're on this homestead journey, when you're on this journey to building a shed to home. When you're on the journey to opening a business, you run to that. You the same way you're gonna be excited and happy about getting to that $1 million is the same feeling that you need to have.
Because it's all about the journey. The lessons are learned in the journey. You get what I'm saying? The lessons are learned in the journey. And since we started gardening, since we started getting into nature, we're both from the country, but we live in the city and so forth. But since we got back into nature, all the lessons of nature. See, with nature, you got to have faith.
Right.
With nature teaches you that things are seasonal, that you have to actually plant the seeds. We got so many lessons
out of nature.
Right. It teaches you that you actually plant. If you plant the seed, you got to wait a certain time to even take up the harvest. So it takes a waiting period. It teaches you patience.
Right.
It teaches you a lesson that she's going to speak on one of these videos, because we talked about this when about the seed, like you going to get what you plant.
Oh man.
Period. So with these lessons,
you plant a butter bean, you're gonna get a butter bean.
You're gonna get a butter bean.
You're not gonna get a watermelon.
If you plant hate, you're gonna get hate. If you plant love and you water love, you're gonna get love. If you plant a hatred seed and you try to water that thing, or you try to water it with love, it's still not gonna give you love a lot of times. Right. When you plant some love, you can't water with hatred. When you plant love, you gotta water with more things that are going to bring forth.
And that means even to the people that are in your circle, the people that take up the most energy that you put out, you have to make sure that those people are the most positive people that you can possibly find. If not, and a lot of people, when you really wake up and when you really are going through this journey and and really manifesting the things that you want, your circle will tend to get smaller, and that's okay, because the smaller your circle is, the more you can even control the energy of that.
Right, and it gets smaller from crazy shit.
Yeah,
like the fact that you believe in yourself.
Right.
It gets positive. I mean, it gets smaller by the fact that you won't allow negative energy around you. For example, she won't allow me to wallow in my sorrows or negativity.
Anything that happens negative, we ain't gonna,
and guess what? When I'm weak, she's strong, and vice versa. You get what I'm saying? So, imagine. I can only imagine she just let me be a certain way. So now I know. Guess what? She ain't with the bullshit. So guess what? I'm gonna try my best to fix this stuff before I even get in her presence.
Right.
Because she's created this staple. Like, this is how we gotta be. Because the thing is, and not that that's who I am. I don't just wallow in it, but we all human.
Yeah, we're human. We both.
So she got my back and I got her back.
Right.
But the thing about, I'm appreciative. So what if she just let me wallow in something? Like, what is that going to do?
Right.
You
have to have those people in your circle, not the people that you can call on the phone. Hey girl, hey, what's going on? This going on, and they're gonna tell you.
They offer you no solutions.
They just keep going with this whole drama feel that you have going on.
What do you call it? Drama bonding.
Trauma bonding. Well, if you need to look at your circle, because if you have a circle of people, friends, family that's in your life, and y'all are only talking about and bonding over each other's traumas, I'm telling you, if you're going to walk this journey of manifesting and getting the things that you desire, the freedom that you desire in your life, you have to fix that.
You need a new circle. And this is the thing, though. A new circle isn't going to accept the same you that attracted the old circle.
Right.
Everything in your life is reflective of you. And the energy that you put towards whatever.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So you have to become better. We have to become better. Period. So with all the stuff going on, all the negativity in the world that's going on right now, we know that isn't reflective of mankind. That isn't totally reflective of the world.
Yes.
It's not even totally reflective of the country. But even though it's things that need to be healed and things that need to be fixed and so forth, we still have to live as people.
Right.
So the best thing for people to do is to focus on the things that they can change for themselves right now.
And we're in the midst, and everybody, the one thing about this pandemic and the time that we're in now is the whole world is feeling it, right? And one thing that we say all the time is, on the other side of this, if you are not better, if you've not taken this time and these opportunities to become better, to learn new skills, to put yourself in a better position, to put yourself in a more financial, a better position financially, or whatever your definition of freedom is, then, now you still have time. Now is the time, but you need to really start, because, again, you can't continue to go on doom and gloom. Turn the news off.
Turn that shit all the way off.
Maybe you need to get on a social media fast.
Right.
Because, again, all of that feeds into your spirit, man.
And most people can't handle it.
And even us.
Even us.
Right.
Even us.
We barely watch the news. Barely. Only really when we're at somebody else's house and they have it on.
Oh, they never turn.
Right.
In most cases.
It don't go off in most people's houses.
In most people's lives, 2020 has been hell. In our lives,
oh man,
it's been exactly what we needed.
Exactly.
It's been exactly what we needed. Like, it's literally been beautiful for us.
Right.
Now we can look at the bullshit that's going on in other people's lives and embrace that energy as it's our own, but it's not our own.
We empathize and
we like, hey, we support things getting better.
Right.
But that shit is not reflective of my life.
No.
At all.
Nope.
And we travel all around the country. You get what I'm saying? So the thing is, I'm not saying issues aren't issues. I'm just saying that no matter what that situation is over there or over there, there's still some things that I got to fix in my life.
Right.
And so I'm not the person. So what we're doing is with COVID, when COVID hit, it helped our businesses.
Right.
It made us also get smarter financially about what we spend towards marketing, how we spend towards marketing.
Spending in general.
We went from damn near being 100% digital to being physical when it comes to the marketing.
Getting in people's homes.
Physically.
Right.
That's been more effective than any damn thing.
Right.
So, and also all the things that has came through and has helped our businesses.
Right.
100%.
Even with building this home, you know, and the people that are just rolling up their sleeves and helping us and ready to work, like there's just so much that's coming out of this.
They got time that they probably wouldn't have had.
Right, exactly. So, you know, we don't want to get too far off the list. But, you know, again, the title of this video is Knowing Who You Are and Walking in It. And again, the whole purpose of that is because if you found our channel, you are interested in being free, owning your own homestead, because you want to know what you're feeding your family.
Right.
You want to save and cut off on all these, you know, frivolous bills that we pay.
You want to spend more time with your family.
Yes, you want to spend more time in nature. You want to, you know, again, there's so many different reasons of why people have their own homesteads. There's so many, and if you found this channel, you know, you may be interested in converting your shed to a home. Well, you know, again, you're going to have those same type of goals in mind. Most people convert sheds to homes because they are looking for that freedom. They're looking for something different. They're looking to downsize. They're looking to live more of a life of minimalism. If you found this channel, you found us because you know that we are great business people, so we can, you know, definitely help guide you in that direction as well, you know, and then just life principles. So you are the number one thing for you to succeed in any of that is knowing who you are and walking with that. Just walking with it. And you know, I'm not sure how much more we can break it down, but again, it starts. Hey, Prim, tell me.
It's Prim right here.
And proper somewhere.
Yeah, proper
but,
somewhere.
Just knowing who you are and walking with it. And just know that, you know, any challenges that can be considered challenges or setbacks or anything that comes into your life, knowing how to get through that and get over it. And the only way you're going to do it is to keep your energy level positive. Like, keep your mindset positive. Everything, I promise you, everything will happen that you set forth to do.
Yep.
If you just keep your energy positive.
The universe says yes. The only thing the universe says is yes.
Yeah.
And when you push through, then you make the universe believe you. And so it's magic.
It's going to say yes. The universe is going to say yes.
The universe is going to say yes.
So if you say, I cannot do this,
the
or
universe
this is too hard, or nobody's going to help me, or I'm not going to have the money to, because, you know, we could have said all of that.
I'm telling you.
A few months ago, we could have said all of that. But we did not. We never, you know, we're billionaires. And this is what we're saying in our mind and out of our mouths.
And this is not fairy tale. Like, we know how to make the money. Like, it's, a lot of people say, oh, I want to be rich, I want to be this, but they have no clue as to how they're going to get it. They think that, oh, I'm going to hit the lottery and so forth. Right. Listen, if I never hit the lottery, I'm still going to get it because I know how to do it. And I'm not going to go too far in that, but the whole thing is, the universe says yes. So you gotta
say yes.
Yeah, it's gonna say yes. So guess what?
What is it gonna say yes to?
So don't confuse it.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't confuse it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's gonna be another video. But you know what? So we do encourage you guys. This is our second video. Stay tuned because we're getting ready to get started with like laying the foundation. We're gonna take you through that process. We're gonna continue to take you through the process of how we've gone through and cleared the land. When we get the building set, we're gonna take you through this whole journey, okay? Even with our chickens, they are like 9 weeks old as well, so we're just continuing to make sure that they're healthy and make sure that we get ready to get some good eggs being laid and some meat birds and stuff. So we're gonna take you through this whole process, and we want to learn from you guys too. So if you have channels Please drop them in the comments if you have, suggestions and like things that we need to know. Please drop that in the comments. Like this video for us. Subscribe to our channel because, again, at least once or twice a week we'll come on and do a video.
Hit the bell too.
Yes, hit the bell so that you can get your notifications on when Life in Cursive has presented another video. Also, we have a Instagram page. We would love for you to connect with us over there. It's Our Life in Cursive Instagram. And then again, if nothing else, please support the channel by subscribing and sharing it with your friends, sharing it on your pages through social media as well. We appreciate you, and we again just want to encourage you. Like, we want to be the couple that will come on and we will give you that dose of encouragement, because it is very interesting when you're doing things the first time. And I'm never gonna say it's hard, but it's very interesting. You learn a lot, and through those moments of learning, greatness just appears. So again, we want to encourage you to go forth, to set goals, and you're going to bust those goals wide open with the right mindset.
She said it all, y'all.
All right. Until the next time, this is Tameshia and Lancer with Life in Cursive, and we'll check you out next time.
Peace.
Peace.